Greetings, my friends. I am here with another idioms video. This is idioms, the third part of my big collection of idioms videos. And if you like my videos, you can subscribe right there. You can give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, tell me what you want to learn. But the other two videos, you'll see them online. Quantity and timing are the two topics. This topic is producing and using. So we talk about companies and businesses that are producing things and we as consumers using things. So the first idiom is bring out. When a company brings something out, they introduce it to the public. So we can say Apple is bringing out the new iPhone next week. Car companies will bring out a new model in the summertime or in September for the next year. So they bring it out. They introduce it to the public. So it's not about producing there, it's about introducing that. That's bring out. The next one, when a company is producing, they turn out products. Now, turning out products means they produce them and the thought is it's in large quantities. When a company produces a large amount of stuff, that's turning out. So they turn out 10,000 cakes a week at that bakery. The car company turns out 100,000 cars a year. The new photocopier can turn out 10,000 copies in 20 minutes. So it produces them, and the idea is a large quantity. So you turn out something in large amounts. It's not like, oh, we make one every 6 months. That's not turning out. That's just producing a small amount. And it's nothing to do with the quality of something and quick. It's just, you're turning them out. It's a great, the company has got the capability to turn out large amounts of things. A similar idiom is crank out. When a company is producing things really fast in large quantities, they're cranking out stuff. Or it doesn't even have to be a company. Stephen King cranks out books, one book a year, 2 books a year. Danielle Steele cranks out books. So you crank something out, or you whip it out. They're whipping them out fast and furious. So that's the crank out. Authors crank out books, they whip out books. So you got bring out is introducing it to the public. Turn out is producing in large numbers. And crank out and whip out is producing large numbers very, very quickly. Okay, the next one is make to order. If you make something to order, you're making it specifically for someone. It's custom made. You get it made to order. You can make something to order if you are the company making it, or you as the consumer can get something made to order. So we are getting our kitchen done and we're getting it made to order. We specifically ask for certain things and they're actually making them to fit our kitchen, new cabinets, new cupboards, and different things. So it's made to order. You're ordering it and they're making it to your order. And so it kind of makes sense that way. A lot of people get their suits made to order. Some politicians do not because they fit very baggy on them. They don't look good at all. But you got to get your suit made to order. It looks good. It's custom made, and it fits perfectly. So you get something made to order. You can buy a cake at a bakery, or you can go in and have it made to order. You can get a picture put on it or specific writing. So that's made to order. What's a good one? Now, next one. We as consumers use a lot of things. And if you want to reduce, decrease your use of something, you cut down on something. You cut down on cigarettes. If people want to, you're not quitting, you're just reducing. You cut down on television, so stop watching so much TV. Cut down on drinking, cut down on cigarettes. You can also cut back on. So you can cut down on and cut back on. Same meaning. And these are both verbs. It's you. I'm going to cut down on cigarettes. I'm going to cut back on cigarettes. You're reducing them. You cut back on expenses. Some companies will cut back on expenses. Those are the verbs. The noun is cutbacks. Put it together in one word, and the government makes cutbacks. So they're specific ways to reduce expenses. Those are cutbacks. And the government's going to make some cutbacks. Excuse me. And then the final one is run out of. If you run out of something, you're not. You've the number's down. You have no more. I've run out of milk. I woke up this morning to make coffee. I've run out of coffee. No. So you've run out of ideas. Companies run out of money. You just run out of just things. You don't have any more. They're gone. So you can make to order, cut down on something to reduce it, or cut back to make cutbacks, and run out on something. And also with the run out of, you're running low. If you're running low on something, you are losing the amount that you're having. There's a difference. I got to go back to this one. Run out of and running low. Run out of, you have no more. Running low on something, you're losing them. You don't have a lot left. And there's a slight difference between those two. Okay, number 7 is go through something. It's not going through the door, going through the window. If you go through something, you use it all up. You consumed it all. It's all gone. I've gone through $10,000 in 2 weeks. No, but some people do. You go through, if you have, a friend of mine has 5 boys, and she goes through food like that. She goes through the milk, the bread, everything. They eat like machines. So you consume something and you run out of it. We can also say use up. I used up all of the milk making 17 cakes for the birthday party. So you go through something and you use up something. And you've consumed it all. It's gone. No more left. Go through and use up. Here's another good one. If you have something that you're keeping, but you're not using it, it's just sitting around, but you're not using it, it collects dust. If something collects dust, it's not being used. It's usually in storage. It could be on a shelf somewhere. It's just collecting dust. And it's literally, it's sitting there, it's collecting dust. People buy, exercise equipment. We're going to exercise, yeah. And then it sits there and it collects dust. Some people buy a pool table. Yeah, let's get a pool table. And then it sits there and collects dust because nobody plays it anymore. So that's collecting dust. Something collects dust. It's just sitting there in storage. Now, people who like to collect things and have things that collect dust, those people are called pack rats. Pack rats. Have you seen the TV show Hoarders? People that save everything. Well, pack rats are people who save everything. They can't get rid of anything. My grandparents and uncle were pack rats. And when they passed away, we had to clean out their apartment, and we discovered the extent of them being pack rats. There was so much stuff in their apartment. It was just unbelievable what we found. So that's a pack rat, someone who collects and just things collect dust. So you go through something or use up something means it's gone. You've run out of it. Collect dust, something that collects dust, it's in storage and you're not using it at all. And the person who does that is a pack rat. So yes, it's these 9 idioms are to do with producing and using, and you can be the producer, you can be the user, but they're very I think they're very useful idioms. All idioms are useful. So I hope you like those ones. I'm going to give you a very, very quick review now. Okay, the 9 idioms today were bring out, introduce to the public. The company's going to bring out a new car next week. Turn out means produce in large amounts. That company turns out 10,000 cakes every month. Crank out means to produce large amounts very quickly. Our new photocopier cranks out 10,000 copies every 20 minutes. It goes very fast. Make to order. You can make something to order. It's custom made. It's made specifically for the customer or you. So you as a producer can make something to order. You as a consumer can have something made to order, which is the passive form of the verb. 5, cut down on is to reduce usage of something, to decrease your use of it. And you also cut back on the 2 verbs. And then you have cutbacks is the noun. We're going to make some cutbacks. The government always makes cutbacks depending on what kind of government you have. Next is run out of. If you run out of something, you don't have any more of it. If you run low on something, you're slowly running out of it, as I use that one, the idiom to teach the idiom. You don't have a lot left. So I ran out of coffee, I can't have a coffee. I'm running out of coffee, I have a little bit left. So there's a difference between run out of something and run low on something. Once you run out of something, you have gone through it. If you go through something, it's gone. You've used it up. It's gone. Number 8 is collect dust. Something's just sitting there in your house and you're not using it. It's collecting dust. Everybody here has something that's collecting dust. Write in the comments something in your house that you bought that you never used that's collecting dust. And the last thing is a pack rat. Is anybody a pack rat? Yeah, you won't want to admit that. But pack rats like to save things. So those are 9 idioms about producing and using. Check out the other 2 videos on timing and quantity, and I've got more videos, more idioms, categorized idioms coming out. If you're an English speaker, you know you use idioms. Think about the idioms you use all the time. If you're a language learner, like my students and other people that are not my students, but other language learners, idioms are very important to understand life in Canada and America, wherever you're living. Each country has different idioms, but these ones are pretty standard ones, and hope you enjoy them. So check out the other 2 videos. Check out my jokes of the day. Check out my stories, and have a wonderful summer. I'm focusing on that. Have a great summer and watch YouTube videos. Don't forget about YouTube videos. Have a great time, and I hope you enjoyed this part 3 of categorized idioms on producing and using.